If you're building a family business, you don't get second chances. Your name is on the line. Your kids are watching. And every single sales conversation either builds your legacy or it weakens it. So, let's get one thing straight right now. Sales is not about persuasion. It's about leadership. When you're a business owner, and especially when you're building a family business, you're not just trying to close a deal. You are trying to build a relationship that will last for years, maybe even generations. The goal isn't a transaction, it's trust. Most people start sales conversations from a position of weakness. They feel like they have to prove themselves to justify their presence. They walk in and ask, "Can I tell you about what I do?" Stop doing that. Instead, you need to walk in as an equal, as a problem solver. Your mindset should be one of a consultant, not a salesperson. So, instead of asking for permission to talk, start by asking insightful questions. Questions like, what are you currently doing to solve this particular problem? Or what's been the biggest obstacle you've faced lately? Business owners respect clarity. They don't have time for hype. When you lead with questions, you position yourself as an authority who is there to help, not to push. This leads us to the diagnostic phase. Think of yourself as a doctor. A good doctor would never prescribe medicine without first understanding the symptoms. You must diagnose before you prescribe. You need to understand 3 core things before you even think about mentioning your offer. First, what is the real, underlying problem? Not just the surface level issue, but the root cause. Second, how long has this problem been happening? Is it a new annoyance or a chronic pain point? And third, what is it actually costing them? This could be in terms of money, time, stress, or lost opportunities. A powerful question to uncover this is, if this problem keeps happening for another year, what does that look like for your business? When you ask that, you're not selling them anything. You're helping them see the true cost of inaction, and they start selling themselves on the need for a solution. Now, for family businesses, this is where it gets personal. Your sales process has to align with your core values. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the legacy you're building. So, you need to connect the problem to an emotional anchor. Ask a question like, if we were able to fix this for you, what would that ultimately change for you and your family? See what just happened? You're no longer selling a product or a service. You're selling relief, you're selling stability, you're selling the future growth they've been dreaming of. This is about connecting on a human level, showing that you understand their deeper motivations beyond just the business transaction. Once you've diagnosed the problem and connected it to an emotional anchor, you need to transition smoothly into your solution. But here's the key. Never, ever pitch without permission. This is a common mistake that immediately makes you sound salesy. Instead, use what I call a bridge statement. It's a simple, low-pressure question that asks for their consent. Say something like, based on what you've shared, I might have a way to solve that. Would you be interested in seeing what that looks like? That simple question is incredibly powerful. It shifts the entire dynamic. They are now inviting you to present your solution rather than you forcing it upon them. They are in control, and you are the trusted guide. When they give you that permission, it's time to position your offer. But again, we're avoiding the hard sell. You're not pleading for their business. You're presenting an option. So, instead of saying, here's what we offer, which sounds like a generic sales pitch, frame it as a direct response to their specific needs. Say, based on what you told me about your specific challenges, here is what I would recommend. Notice the difference. You're not selling, you're advising. You're a consultant offering a tailored solution, not a salesperson pushing a one-size-fits-all product. This frames your offer as an option, not an obligation. Finally, you need to close with confidence and clarity. After you've presented your recommendation, resist the urge to talk yourself out of the sale. Don't ramble on. Just be quiet and ask one simple, direct question. Does this feel like it solves the problem we talked about? That's it. If the answer is yes, you can then discuss the next steps. If there's any hesitation, you don't chase or pressure them. You go back to diagnosing. You ask, what part feels like it might be missing? Family businesses don't chase, they qualify. Your strength is in your integrity and your commitment to providing a real solution. Remember, the strongest sales conversations feel more like strategy sessions. When you lead with clarity, confidence, and your core values, you don't just close deals, you build generational trust. That is how you build a legacy. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more tips on building a business that lasts.